Hey friends, quick video today on how we're going to be making some coffee oil that we are then going to turn into coffee butter. I have a whole slew of coffee related products that I'm going to be coming out with, including coffee micellar water, a coffee serum, coffee eye cream, a coffee body scrub, a coffee tightening body lotion. So we're going to be doing all things coffee coming up here real soon. The first step we need to do though is to go ahead and make our coffee oil. We're going to do that with whole coffee beans. You can get whatever roast you'd like. Just keep in mind that the light roast contains the most caffeine. So if you're going for products that contain, sorry about that, that's my microwave. So if you're going for products for any type of a tightening effect or a cellulite effect, or to help with puffiness underneath your eyes, for example, or dark circles, you're going to want to get the light roast beans, okay, because that's where most of the caffeine is. So let's start by go ahead and we're going to macerate these just a little bit. We're not going to do a whole bunch. Trying to really just crush up every bean. I don't really want any whole ones left. That seems to be good. I don't see any whole beans left. Just a nice rough chop is what I wanted there. Perfect. Oh man, if you guys have never just ground your own coffee beans, do that. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this coffee into all of these containers here. This is my little yogurt maker. I don't know if you guys have seen the other video that I did when I was making other herbal extracts. It's a very low and slow heat method that you do for about 10 hours. And that infuses your oils very, very nicely. You put it on a nice low setting and just let it go. So let me just go ahead and put like semi-equal amounts of the coffee into all of these. I am using a 1-to-3 ratio, meaning 1 part of my coffee to 3 parts of the oils that I'm going to be using. All right, next off, we're going to be putting all of our oils into a bigger vessel so that we can mix those all together, starting off with safflower oil. Next up, we're going to be putting in grapeseed oil. And lastly, we're going to be adding some meadow foam seed oil. All right, we're just going to give this a little bit of a mix. All right, and then we're just going to go ahead and start filling all of our little vessels that have our coffee in it. All right, now that I've got all of the oil in, let's give each one of these a little stir. Then we go ahead and pop our lids on each one of these. And then we're just going to add some hot water to the base here. Pop the top on here. And then we're going to set it. And we're going to put the temperature in. This will go up to 131 degrees. I'm going to put it at 120. And then I'm going to put the time at 10 hours. And that's it. I'm just going to leave this here. It's going to shut off automatically when it's done. And then we will have a really, really nice coffee infused oil. So I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to take that oil, strain it off, and then go ahead and make that into some coffee butter. Okay, it is the next day and I've already gone ahead and emptied out most of the containers. I have one left, just wanted to let you guys see the process. It's very simple. This is actually a yogurt strainer that came separately from my yogurt maker, just because it's got a really, really nice fine mesh strainer in it and this little stand that will collect all the goodies. So it works really well for my purposes with, you know, oil infusions. And that's it, you guys. We're going to let that sit and drain. I already have a bunch sieved off. We already strained all of this. It's in this container now. And then this is what's left. But you can see the really, really nice, rich, dark color. Smells fantastic. I'm just going to let this sit here, continue draining, and I'll get everything set up so that we can take some of this oil and turn it into coffee butter. Okay, we're back. All of the oil has drained off and we're getting ready now to turn that into butter. We're going to be using Lipid Thicks, and I got that from Lotion Crafter. So the first thing I want to do is turn on my hot plate and get that up to temp in order to incorporate Lipid Thicks into any oil to turn it into an oil. Hold on, let me just get the temp up here. There we go. Like I was saying, in order to incorporate Lipid Thicks into any oil to turn that into a butter, you need to combine both of them and bring them both up at the same time to 176 degrees Fahrenheit. That's according to their instructions on their website. So I already have my coffee oil. I'm not making a lot today. I think I'm making a small little 8-ounce batch today of the butter. So I've got the coffee oil already measured out. The next thing I'm going to do is put in some BHT, because that is an antioxidant and I want to preserve this butter as long as I can. And then after that, I'm going to be adding vitamin E as well for the antioxidant properties. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just like to always incorporate antioxidants into my oils. All right, that's that portion. It's still coming up. It's only at about 75 degrees now. It's going to continue to come up, but that's okay. We can start incorporating the Lipid Thicks in here now. It's a very, very fine, very light, fluffy powder. It's not an airborne powder, but it's very light. So we're just going to get this down into the vessel. Try not to make a mess. According to Lotion Crafter, to turn any oil into a butter, use 20% of the Lipid Thicks to 80% of any of your oils or combination oils. I'm bumping that up today. I am going to be using 23.7% of the Lipid Thicks because I've got those other two ingredients in here. I've got the 1% of the vitamin E and the 0.3% on the BHT. So in essence, I am doing the 25-75. 25 Lipid Thicks, 75 oil. But because I want a nice thick butter. And the reason why they suggest you bringing the temperature up together and coming up to 176 is because if you don't, and this doesn't get incorporated properly, you're gonna have a grainy butter. But already, look at the color of that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice toffee color for the coffee butter we're gonna be making today? but I really wanted a more firm butter. So instead of doing 20% on the Lipid Thicks, I opted to go to the 25%. And you can play around with this depending on what you want. Some people want a very, very soft butter for different purposes. Some people want a very, very hard butter. So you just play around, but those are the ratios that you would start with. Start with 20% of the Lipid Thicks and then see how you like that texture. All right, I'm gonna let this continue coming up to the temperature, let it do its thing, and then I'll come back and I'll give it another stir. Okay, I wanted to bring you guys back just a couple of minutes early so that you could see how the color has changed. It went from that very, very nice, creamy, taupe looking, or toffee looking color to it's just about clear now. We're gonna keep on mixing till it gets to be completely clear. Then we're just going to pour it off, and then you just let it sit, you guys, to do its thing and turn into butter. So this is only at 171 degrees right now, reading on my hot plate. I'm still seeing just a couple of little floaters, but you can see that this liquid has now gone clear instead of that creamy color. Just a couple more seconds, and I think we're going to be good. Yep, we are good. There's nothing left floating around in there. I am just going to leave this go up to 176 degrees as per the instructions on Lotion Crafter's site. Okay, you guys, we are right about there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, and all we do now is just pour it off. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour it off right into this container. All right, and that is it. We are literally just going to leave this here overnight and let it do its thing. It's going to solidify. To what degree, we really don't know yet as far as the percentages, but I'm pretty confident it's going to be around the texture that I would like to work with. So it's going to be overnight for me, but just a couple of seconds for you guys. It's the next day. Let's take a look and see what our butter has done overnight. Look at that, you guys. How awesome. Ooh, that's a nice texture. Oh yeah, that's a great texture. That's not too soft. I did not want a really soft butter. I wanted something that had a little oomph to it. And this definitely hit the mark. So that percentage for me and my liking is spot on. Look at this. This is great. So there you go, you guys. We just made our own coffee butter, and you can do this with any liquid. You can infuse anything into any liquid and then turn it into a butter. This is fantastic. Oh gosh, it smells so good too. Yeah, this is a perfect consistency for my needs. You may like it a little bit more soft. You may like it a little bit more hard than this. So just play around with it. But go over to Lotion Crafter, get yourself some of that Lipid Thicks, because as you can see, it takes the muss and the fuss right out of making your own butters, as opposed to spending a gazillion dollars to buy these exotic butters from suppliers. So this worked out really well. We're going to put this to use in a couple of our formulas coming up, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining me today for this very quick tutorial on how to make a coffee-infused oil and then turn that coffee-infused oil into a butter. We do not waste those grounds. We're going to be using these grounds in the coffee scrub that we're going to be making. So if you enjoyed the video, you guys, please give it a thumbs up, as it really helps out the channel. Share it with your friends, comment below, do all of those things. But until we meet again,